Well, we all need to be vigilant against phone and internet system scams that prey on our hopes and fears or tug at our heartstrings. Our next honorees brought justice to a company that was aiding and abetting known scammers, and they have made it possible for people who were defrauded to recoup their losses. Please welcome to the stage the chairman of the Federal Trade Commission, Joe Simons.
Last year, Western Union agreed to forfeit nearly $600 million to reimburse hundreds of thousands of people who had been defrauded by money transfer schemes. It was an extremely ambitious and challenging case involving fraud on a global scale. Molly Moeser from the Justice Department and Karen Dodge from the Federal Trade Commission coordinated to work in parallel on nationwide investigations and help bring the perpetrators and enablers to justice. They led their teams through complex criminal and civil investigations involving millions of pages of documents, resulting in the largest ever forfeiture by a money services business. Their investigations revealed that Western Union received more than 550 fraud complaints from a wide cross-section of victims, both young and old, and from all walks of life. 80% of the complaints came from the U.S., and there were a startling number of situations where Western Union employees were complicit in the fraud. The company admitted to aiding and abetting wire fraud by looking away as scammers processed hundreds of thousands of financial transactions. Even though the company knew many of its agents were helping the con artists around the globe avoid detection, thanks to Karen and Molly's hard work and persistence, fraud victims will be reimbursed for some of their losses, and Western Union must put in place a comprehensive anti-fraud program to identify and stop illegal transactions. Let's hear more about Karen and Molly and the consumers they're helping to protect.
Western Union is the largest money services business in the world. Consumers all over the world in over 200 countries can send money to other consumers in a matter of minutes. That makes it very easy for fraudsters to send money, get their victims to send money through Western Union very, very quickly. As part of the fraud investigation, we discovered that Western Union had complaints from over 500,000 consumers.
In prior cases, I might have just had to focus on one type of fraud. This involved the full range of frauds. There were lottery scams, romance scams, emergency scams like the grandparent scam, advanced fee loan scams, internet or online purchase scams. So I would say it was a pretty good cross-section of victims. So it could range in age from young to old, all from different backgrounds. You'd be surprised by the different kinds of people who can be victimized in these types of scams.
These are real people who lost real money. Some of them, they need this money to pay rent. They need this money to buy food or pay for medication, and it's an incredible hardship on them to lose this money through these various types of scams.
The Western Union case is really a very good example of how government agencies can coordinate and collaborate when it makes sense. Our investigations were parallel, and we were able to coordinate the settlements. Not only were we able to get $586 million, which is in the process of being returned to victims, but in addition, we were able to put in place an order that has prospective relief and will protect consumers in the future.
Only the federal government can do work like this, and I see it every day in my job. I see it working with people like Karen. I see it working with my postal inspectors and FBI agents and IRS agents, and they are there because they care about protecting the public from criminal activity. They care about the victims, and that's something that it's hard to find a job like that in the private sector. You can't put a dollar value on that, but every day when you go home, you think, I'm working towards the greater good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the winners of the 2018 Homeland Security and Law Enforcement Medal Karen Dodge and Molly Moeser.
Come on, team. Okay. And come on, team. Thank you, Chairman Simons. It's great to have you here with us tonight. On behalf of the FTC's Western Union team, I'd like to thank the Partnership for Public Service. This is such an amazing award, and it's incredible for us to be sharing this jointly with Molly Moeser and the DOJ team. We really enjoyed working with them and collaborating in this effort. The FTC is a small agency with a big mission to protect consumers. And our core Western Union team, based in Chicago, is especially small. It's only made up of 4 people, including me, Joni Way, Libby Scott, and where's Doug McKenney? And Doug McKenney. And I have to say thank you to Todd Casso, our director in Chicago, our Midwest Region director, who was instrumental in assisting us on this case. In addition, I'm not going to name all the divisions in Washington that assisted us, but there were many different divisions that throughout the case provided their areas of expertise to help us move our case along throughout and then even after. On a personal note, I'd like to thank my family, my parents, for building the foundation that led me to government service, and my husband and 4 kids who put up with me even when I was sneaking out on our family vacation to work on the Western Union case. Both teams worked really hard, and although I can speak on behalf of FTC, our investigation was extremely complicated. What was really plain to see was that Western Union's money transfer system was being abused by fraudsters all around the world to steal money out of the pockets of consumers, and that is especially U.S. consumers. So that obviously caught our attention. Sometimes in fraud, the fraud is described as sort of a whack-a-mole situation. But I think that Western Union was really, the settlement was really a game changer because it did put in place requirements that will force the company to address the root problem and to put in place measures that will also protect consumers in the future. So thanks again to the partnership. This is an incredible honor and a great opportunity for us to educate the public about frauds.
On behalf of the DOJ team, I want to thank the Partnership for Public Service. This was really a team effort. 5 prosecutors' offices, 5 different law enforcement agencies. I want to thank all of my team members, Randy and Judy and Trish, who can be here with me tonight, Kim, Mike, Nick, Greg, Jen, Court, Sean and John, and Steve, who all could not be here tonight. We all worked together and collaborated to come to a really important result that will get money back to consumers. And I'd also like to thank my family and my parents for supporting me, getting me to this place, and supporting me in my career. Thank you all. And I also like to thank my leadership who is here and supported us and nominated us as well. Thank you very much.
So congratulations again to Karen Dodge and Molly Moeser. Thank you to Chairman Simons. It really does take a village to do these amazing investigations. So we have more extraordinary stories of service to share with you this evening, including that fireside chat with Michael Lewis and Jeff Bezos.